The Indianapolis Children's Choir was formed in 1986 under the direction of the founder, Henry Leck.
I knew very little about children's choirs, and I was conducting a church choir in Indianapolis, and I got this letter from the Chicago Children's Choir saying, we're coming to a convention in Indianapolis. Would you be willing to pay for our bus and to pay for our housing while we're there, homestay our kids? And I went, well, I don't know much about this choir. I don't know if we should do this or not. So I said, well, I'm coming to Chicago to buy music anyway. How about I stop in and see what you guys are all about? And I pulled into Hyde Park where they rehearsed in this Unitarian church, walked in and was astonished with what that organization was doing, because it wasn't just making good music, it was drawing kids from the ghetto, which existed on 3 sides of Hyde Park, and giving these kids a ticket out of poverty. And so I said, you bet, we'll do that. So we brought them down, we homestayed them, we paid for their bus, they sang at the convention. The choral directors were thrilled, they jumped to their feet, and I thought, but they don't know where these kids have come from and what a life-changing experience that is for this choir. So I thought, in Indianapolis, we don't have anything like that. We have some good church choirs, we have some good school choirs, but we didn't have a choir that would draw kids together from all regions of the city, all kinds of neighborhoods, all kinds of religions, ethnic diversity, cultural backgrounds, economic backgrounds, draw them into one pool of kids to create an artistic statement. I thought, maybe I should do that. And so I thought, I'm going to start a children's choir. It coincided, oddly enough, in the fall of 1986 with my starting on the faculty here at Butler and starting my doctorate at IU in Bloomington. So I had 3 big things on my plate. But I didn't know how to start a children's choir. So I went to Dr. Harry Mamlin, who at that time was the coordinator for music in the Indianapolis Public Schools. I said, Harry, how do I start a choir? Because I wasn't known in this city for working with children. I had very little experience in it, actually. And he said, well, Henry, I think what I'll do is start a festival. That's what you should do, is start a festival. So I said, okay. And he said, I'll help you. I'll send letters out to all the music teachers in the Indianapolis Public Schools, and we can do that. And I said, well, how would I do that? And he said, well, what I do is send the music in advance, let the teachers teach it, bring them all together for a day, rehearse them for a few hours, do a concert. So I'm driving home and I go, yep, that's what I'm going to do. And I got home and I thought, well, wait a minute. How do I know what music to choose? How do I know that the teachers are going to be able to teach it? How do I know if the kids are capable of singing it? That won't work. So I dwelt upon it for a while and thought, I know, I'll create a camp. And I'll get teachers to recommend kids, and they'll come to a camp and let them come for a whole week, half days, and I'll teach the music. And then if it's not the right music, I can switch at the last minute and make it successful. And that's what we did. We had the first Indianapolis Children's Choral Festival in the June of 1986, and it was a great success. We had, I think, about 204 singers, and about half in the morning, half in the afternoon. It turned out the St. Louis Children's Choir came on Wednesday. We had a big pitch-in. On Saturday, we were going to sing at the Children's Museum in that auditorium, but by Wednesday, we had sold it out. So I had to book 2 performances. We did our first performance then on that Saturday in the Children's Museum. Most of those kids auditioned for the choir. The ones that didn't probably came in later, or in their place, friends and people who had heard about us auditioned. And I think I started the season with over 200, I think about 207 singers. So it's grown ever since.